Join me for a total body flow. We'll start in child's pose, just taking a few cycles of breath to connect to body. So let's find the position. Big toes together, knees wide, hips to heels, melting the heart toward the earth. Long, deep cycles here. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Letting every little muscle get soft and heavy. Connecting to this moment and connecting to the sensations of your body, whatever you feel today. Last cycle in and big breath out. Slow but sure, we'll start to roll ourselves up into a hands and knees position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and just starting to rock side to side. Imagining that you're wagging your tail, if you had one. Just finding a bit of space through the obliques, through the torso. And as you come back through center, we'll move through a bit of cat-cow, taking an inhale, arching the back, gaze goes up. And with that exhale, rounding the spine, nose to pelvis. Flowing here in your cycle of breath. Remembering there is no too fast or too slow. Coming back to your neutral spine. Start to lift the knees. Press the belly back to those thighs, finding your way into downward facing dog. Feeling free to make any little movements here that the body may be asking for. Maybe bending one knee, straightening the other leg. Almost like you're kneading the mat with your heels. We're growing long from the crown of the head to the tailbone. We're just opening up the back body. Last cycle here. And with that next exhale, start to push your weight forward, finding a plank position, stacking the shoulders and the wrists. Upper back is nice and puffed up, almost as if you're sliding the shoulder blades apart from one another. Ribs slightly tucking toward the pelvis, the core is nice and engaged. Feel the entire body from crown of the head to the heels, and just breathe here, finding your strength, finding your stability. Breath in, breath out. Floating your right foot up off the mat in the next inhale. With your exhale, step the right foot outside of the right hand. You're welcome to tap the left knee down if you so choose. Otherwise, take a breath in, reach that right hand high to the sky. And exhale, rotate right arm under the left, just adding a few T-spine rotations here. Moving on your flow. There is no too deep. There is no too shallow. We are just exploring. Last inhale. Exhale to rotate. When you're finished, two hands come down. Let's tap that left knee down and start to draw the left heel toward the glute. Now arriving here, start to tilt that left foot, touching it to the right side of your mat. Unwind, foot comes through center, tap the left foot to the left side of your mat. And we'll just start to float that foot side to side. Now, if you're not touching the mat or the floor, that's totally fine. Just moving into the range of motion that feels good for you. We're just exploring that hip flexor. We're exploring that hip IR, ER. Just taking that time to open it up. Last two. Now, I'm not using props today, but a soft foamy under your knee or blocks under the hands can be a really nice option if you do have them handy. Let's finish off that cycle. Coming back through center, left toe comes to the earth, pick up that left knee, step back, plank position. Here we are once again. Now you're welcome to tap the forearms down or tap the knees down if that serves your body best today. Otherwise, just stay here, finding that strength. Engaging the whole self from crown to heels. Ribs knitted in towards those hip bones. Elbow creases pointed at one another. Gripping the mat, pressing through the hands, sliding those shoulder blades apart. Final breath in. Final breath out. On the inhale, right foot floats up off the mat. Exhale, left foot steps outside of left hand. I said right, but I meant left. Now you're more than welcome to tap the right knee down. Otherwise, you can leave it lifted. Inhale. We go left arm to the sky. Exhale, rotate left arm under right. Adding those T-spine rotations once again. Last two. Last one. When you've completed that cycle, two hands down to earth, tapping that right knee down. Draw the right heel towards the glute, activating the hamstring. And then when you're ready, tapping right foot to the left. Swinging it back through center, tapping the right foot to the right. Now again, you're moving here as fast or as slow as your breath asks, and as deep or as shallow as your hips ask. So remember, foot does not have to be touching the ground, just moving through our natural range, exploring our hips, exploring our hip flexors. Last two each way. Last one each way. All right. Coming back through center, tapping that right foot, lift up the knee, stepping back once again for your plank. This time we'll push back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Give that head a little bit of a wiggle out here. Think about pressing back, drawing the belly towards those thighs, tilting that tailbone high to the sky. Long line from that crown to that tail. 2 breaths here. Final cycle in. And big breath out. Planting the left foot on the inhale, right leg sweeps up and back. Bend that right knee, start to stack the right hip onto the left, finding a 3-legged dog. That right knee is pointed high towards the sky. You're pressing evenly between those 2 hands, so those shoulders are squared at the top of the mat. Try to pick up the knee a little higher. And then with the exhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Now, I have my right foot between my hands, but sometimes I like to take my right hand inside my right foot. So just set up in the way that feels best for you. Again, if you'd like to use blocks here, absolutely. We'll take an inhale, deep bend through that right knee. And with the exhale, we straighten the right leg. As I straighten my right leg, my left heel comes down for a bit more support. Inhale, deep bend, right knee. Exhale, straighten back. Opening and closing through the hamstrings. And just being cognizant about keeping those hips squared forward as we move here, especially in that straight-legged position. Now we'll do one more flow. Inhale, bend into that right leg. And then exhale, rock back, sweep back. My right leg's straight, my left heel's down. I'm thinking of pulling my left hip bone forward. And then I start to roll my shoulders back, lengthening my crown forward. Now keep pulling those inner thighs together. Start to sweep those arms all the way up. Taking a big breath in. With that exhale, find a hinge. Press the hips back, sweep that heart forward. Just stay to pause, big stretch. Float those fingers up a little higher. Next, exhale, hands sweep behind the back, interlace those fingers, bend that right leg, bow forward, fall forward, right shoulder, right knee, snuggle up. Humble variation of our warrior. Draw those knuckles up so much, open the heart, open the chest. Take a cycle in. Exhale, arms peel out to a T, start to straighten that right leg once again, and then rotate so the left hand comes to the earth as that right hand sweeps up toward the sky. Almost here, breath in. Exhale, right hand down to the mat. Now from here, I'm taking my right toe, turning it to the top left corner of my mat. All right, hands could be on blocks here if you've got them. Bend your right knee, start to sink your hips toward the right heel. So we're finding a lateral lunge. Now you could stay upright where I am now, or you could bend so much that your hips start sinking toward the earth. Now this straight leg, you can flex the foot. Think about spinning the pinky toe towards that back wall. It's gonna help keep you a little bit more supported. Hands could be here on blocks on the earth, or some of my friends may go right shoulder, right knee, and left hand all the way up to the sky. Skandasana. Breath in. Breath out, two hands come to the top of the mat. Start to pivot your weight forward for that low runner's lunge. Now, really similar to that drill we did before, this time I'm bending my right knee and I'm tapping my left heel down. And then I'll kind of straighten the right leg just a little bit and tap my left heel to the left. So we're going forward and back, or actually side to side, just like we did in that warm up. We're just flipping the left heel. This left heel goes right, the left heel goes left. The heel's not coming all the way down to the ground, that's okay. Give me two more. Give me last one. Beautiful. Coming back through center, take the right foot between the hands. Once again, we're popping up to our L stand. Press the hands forward. Start to straighten the right leg as we lift the left leg. I'm gonna come to the center of my mat here. All right, hips nice and square. Taking an inhale, kiss the left big toe to the earth, and then exhale, kick it up. Working into the glutes here. Last two. Last one, lift to hold. Bend the left knee. Notice how that left knee is pointed down to the ground. With an exhale, stack the left knee onto the right. So left knee pointing high to the sky. Inhale, square up, left knee points down. Exhale, stack up, left knee points up. Now start to flow through this in your flow of breath. Keeping in mind, you could hold onto blocks, a wall, really anything that feels comfortable and gives you a bit of support here. Last three. Last two. Last one. Open it up to hold. Stay with me, breathe with me for 3, 2, and 1. Left foot steps to the back of the mat. From here, walk your right foot to the left wrist. So we're finding a pigeon. Right shin parallel-ish to the short side of the mat. Just walk that left leg back till your hips touch the earth. Now, hands to blocks if you've got them, or perhaps the hands are in the ground where I am now, or maybe you pull those hands behind the back. Tuck through the left big toe. Think about sliding the right hip bone back and pulling the inner thighs together, or like you're bringing all your energy to the midline of the body. Few long, deep cycles. Beautiful. From here, planting those hands forward, start to lean forward just a touch. Taking the left hand to the head. Inhale, we'll draw elbow to elbow. Exhale, we'll draw left elbow to sky. A few more on your cycles of breath here. Last one. When you're done, two hands come down, stepping it all the way back for that plank. Now, option to stay in plank, but if you're familiar with vinyasa, we'll move through. But of course, I'll cue. So some of my friends may choose to tap the knees down. Otherwise, let's lower down, straight line, hips and chest all in a line. Pause halfway, untuck the toes, drop the hips, lift the chest, glutes tight, shoulders slide down the back, and then exhale, roll back, downward facing dog. Few cycles of breath here. Give that head a shake. Melt the heels toward the earth, maybe even walking it out, bending one knee, straightening the other. All right. Planting the right foot down, take an inhale, left leg sweeps up and back. We'll find three-legged dog, bending the left knee, stacking the left hip onto the right. As we arrive, press evenly between those two hands, shoulders square to the top of the mat. Pick up that left knee a little bit more. Hold to breathe, grow long. Last cycle in. And exhale, left foot outside of left hand. Now we'll start to flow forward and back. So again, I have my foot outside my hand. If you want to be inside, that's okay too. Inhale, deep bend through that left knee. Exhale, straighten that left leg, going forward and back. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten, meaning to open up the hamstring and the hip flexor. Few more cycles. Last breath in. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Pause when you arrive. Tap the right heel down. Think about pulling that right hip bone forward. At this point, we're rounding the nose toward the knee, letting that head be soft, finding the space through the hamstring and through the spine. Now we'll start to grow tall. So again, square the hips, right hip pulls forward, inner thighs pulled together, core is tight. Start to sweep all the way up. Arms come up to the sky. From here, we'll press the hips back, drop the heart forward, find that hinge. Keep the hips square, start to float those fingers higher, work through the upper back. Finding that stability, we're almost there. Falling tumble warrior in 3, 2, and 1. Sweeping the hands behind the back, fingers interlace. Bow down, bend the left knee. Left shoulder, left knee, snuggle together as you press those pinky fingers up. Finding the engagement here. Push the shoulder to knee, push knee to shoulder, open in. Feel that left leg, holding to breathe. Cycle in. With your exhale, start to straighten the left leg, pull your arms out to a T shape, and then rotate so the right hand's coming down, left hand sweeps all the way up to the sky. As I arrive, I'm pulling my shoulder blades together to help open up my chest, and at the same time, I'm starting to pull my right hip bone forward. Heading towards Skandasana or Lateral Lunge. Take a breath in. And exhale, left hand to earth. Now I'm gonna be facing the opposite way, so bear with me. Left big toes turn to the top right corner of the mat. Plant the hands down and just start to bend the left knee a little bit. right? You could stay right here. This can feel wonderful for you. So option to stay, an option for hands on blocks if you have them. Maybe you can bend that left knee so much that the hips drip down towards the earth. If so, right leg is straight. You're externally rotating, so kind of spinning that pinky toe towards that back wall. And we're arriving. Hands could be to floor, hands could be to heart center, or you could take the left shoulder to the left knee and then expand that right arm all the way up. Make sure the breath stays through the belly. Long, deep cycles. Finding a place that the breath is still controlled, right? If you notice we're getting ragged, or we're getting that breath caught up through the chest, come out, have a little bit of depth. All right, last cycle in. Exhale, spin back to that low runner's lunge. So hands come to the top of the mat, spinning that left big toe to the top of the mat. And then we'll start that internal external rotation drill again. So if you want to tap your right knee down, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, tap your right heel to the left as you bend that left knee a little deeper. And then flip it over, tapping the right heel to the right. We're going side to side. So really similar to that drill we did earlier, right? You could always stay back in that drill if that one feels better in your body. So a lot of action through the right hip flexor here. Almost through. This one can be really intense. Just stay with those breaths. We'll do 2 more each way. Your hips are going to be so open after this. 1 more each side. All right. From here, come back through center. Start to walk the hands forward, keeping the hands to earth or blocks. Start to straighten the left leg as you kick that right leg up. So we're finding your L stand. All right, hips square. Pointing the right toe, take an inhale, tapping the big toe towards the earth. Exhale, lift to float. Working through the glutes and those leg lifts once again. Last 2. Last 1, lift to hold. Now, bend the right knee. Notice that knee is pointed down towards the earth. With an exhale, stack the right knee to the left, like a 3-legged dog. Inhale, right knee points down to the ground. Exhale, stack and lift. So again, hands to blocks here is a nice option, or really hands to anything that's giving you a bit of support. If this range of motion is a little uncomfortable for you today, know that that's normal. Move into the range that works. And the stronger we get, the easier it'll become. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Open to stack, stay to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right toe to the back of the mat. Let's find our pigeon. So left shin parallel-ish to the short side of the mat. Walk the right leg back until you feel the hips plant down. So again, hands could be to block, to earth, whatever's cozy. If you do have a block nearby, you could even place it under the left hip. I'm tucking my right toe firmly, kind of thinking of pulling my left hip bone back, keeping the feet flexed, and just breathing into this active hip stretch. There's a tug together of the inner thighs, which is pulling the energy to the midline of the body or the mat. That's helping to keep us stable. So we're not sinking and just melting into range. We're actually controlling the range. Next, exhale. Start to sweep the hands forward. Right hand to your head. Inhale, elbow, elbow. And exhale, elbow, sky. Beautiful. 2 hands down to the earth. Let's step back to that plank. Option to stay in your plank position. Option to flow through vinyasa. If you're moving through vinyasa, you're welcome to tap your knees. Otherwise, lower down in a long line. Pause halfway, untuck the toes, dropping the hips, lifting the chest, and then rolling back. 2 cycles of breath. Last cycle of breath. Now we'll come to Malasana at the top of our mat. So you can step or you can hop, but think of a low heels down squat. So gaze toward your fingers, hop or step, 2 feet up to the top of the mat. Feet are a little wider than hips. Bend the knees, drop those hips down and back, just stay to breathe. So elbows can press into the inner knees, palms can come together. That helps open up the knees, open up those hips. I want you to think about leaning back a little bit. So your ears, shoulders, ribs, hips are all stacked and aligned. Taking a big breath in. Exhale, hands down, press those hips up. Start to walk those feet back into hip distance. Plant your right foot, take your 2 peace fingers around your left big toe, and then with control, stand to rise. As we come all the way up, keep your hips nice and even, keep your core tight, start to kick that left leg out. Engage the body. Release that left foot. Take an inhale, draw the left heel toward the earth. Exhale, kick it up. Last one. Lift to hold. And then take that left leg, kick it back as you start to slide the hips back and drop the heart forward. Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3. Nice active hamstring stretch here. Taking a breath. Exhale, land the left toes down as you bend that right knee, rising into that nice high lunge. Arms are up over the head. Inhale, dive forward, hinge forward. Exhale, hands sweep back. Once again, draw those knuckles up, bow that heart. Breath in. Exhale, left heel taps, right leg straight. Try to keep your belly connected to that right thigh. Nice big hamstring opener. Breath in. Exhale, bend that right knee, hands to heart center. Draw the left elbow to the right knee. Press those palms together, gaze over that right shoulder. From here, float the left heel up off the mat, and then step the left foot to meet the right. Twisted chair. Draw that left knee back and in, hold to breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Unwind, press those hips up, roll your nose toward your knee. If it feels comfortable, grab onto those hamstrings, start to pull yourself over. Breath in. Breath out, hands to earth. Heel toe those feet to about hip distance once again. Toes turn to about 45. Start to bend the knees, sitting the hips down and back. And then exhale, lift those hips up. Inhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Last 2. Last 1. Hips up, beautiful. Hands to earth, heel toe those feet to hip distance. Plant your left foot. Right peace fingers around right big toe. Core tight with control, stand to rise. Find your balance first. As you arrive into that balanced, stable position, then you'll kick the right leg out. Keep the hips even. Engage your core. Release the right foot. Inhale, right heel sinks down. Exhale, it floats. Working that hip flexor. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1, kick up, hold. Find your warrior 3, Virabhadrasana 3. Right leg sweeps back. Soft bend through the knee, press the hips back, shine the heart towards the earth. Keep those hips nice and even here. Think about lengthening your crown from your heel, pressing through that left big toe. Hold to breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Land to your lunge, rise it up. Chest is open, biceps framing those ears. Beautiful. Find the hinge, sweep the weight forward. Hold. All the weight through that front leg. Start to then sweep the hands behind the back, fingers interlace, drawing the right shoulder or the left shoulder to that left knee. Knuckles go up, head gets low. Stay with me, breathe with me. Cycle in. Exhale, start to straighten through that left leg, keeping the belly and the thigh connected. Think of pulling the nose toward the knee, pressing those knuckles up. Find that space through hamstring and through spine. Breath in. Exhale, bend back into that left leg. Sweeping those arms forward, hands come to heart center. Rotate, right elbow, left knee. Press those palms together. Gaze over that left shoulder. Floating the right heel up. Stepping the right foot to meet the left. Bend the knees, drop that right hip down and in. Press those palms, gaze up. Breath in. Exhale, unwind, hands to earth. Beautiful. Option to reach for opposite elbows and sway side to side. Option to find your favorite variation from last time. Maybe the hug on the calves, hands meet behind the shins, rolling your nose to your knees. Breath in and breath out, hands to earth. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, tapping that left knee down. And you could use blocks here if you've got them. Otherwise, I invite you to straighten the right leg. Right foot can be flexed. Right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Option to just stay and breathe. For my friends who have a little more range, maybe you start to push out toward that split, meeting your body where it is today, staying to breathe. Remember that cue about breath through the belly. So if the breath is getting caught up through the chest, you might be going too deep. Meet yourself where you are. Less range of motion with controlled breath is much more valuable. Taking a breath in. Big exhale, sliding that right leg back to meet your left. And making any movements that might feel right. Could be cat-cow, could be rocking side to side, or you could push back to a child's pose. That's where I am now. Wherever you are, Just giving your body a little break before we move into the left. When you're ready, shifting the weight back to a hands and knees position. Let's step the left foot outside of the left hand. All right, here we are. So you can straighten the left leg. Hands stay right to the center of the mat, kind of pulling that left hip bone back. Stay to breathe here. This is a great place to be. Wonderful stretch to the hamstring. So option to stay, breath through the belly, long deep cycles. For my friends with a little more range, option to start experimenting by sliding that left leg forward and that right leg back. And you might have to play with it, right? You might have to play with it a little bit. So you can see I'm wiggling and adjusting, finding the position that works for me. Right, you'll notice the experience will be different on both sides. So for example, I'm on my tighter side. So just meet yourself where you are. You don't have to be as deep. Right, this can be completely different. Big breath in. Exhale, you could slide the left foot to meet the right, or you can shift your weight to the left and pull that right leg up. Whatever exit works best for you in terms of the position you're in. So letting those knees fall, start to roll forward just a little bit. Rounding through that spine. Knees melting to the sides. Big cycle. With your exhale, sliding up. Let's go feet out in front of you, rolling the way back. Maybe pulling your knees to your chest as you give yourself a little hug. Or you could let those knees fall side to side or open them up into little circles. You could find happy baby. And we're just giving yourself a few moments here. I'm dropping my legs to the right and expanding my left arm out, finding a little twist. Letting the knees roll through center, falling all the way over to the left. It's again finding a little twist as my right arm straightens out, shoulder plants to earth. From here, I'll let my soles of my feet hang out together. My knees fall open to I'll let my soles of the feet come together. My knees fall to the side. My hands resting on my belly. My eyes are closed. enjoying a few breaths in stillness. You can stay here as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today.